Isabel, Emerson, Simone, and Benjamin. Isabel and Simone are both names of friends that Colleen and I have had. Emerson was named after Ralph Waldo Emerson. And Benjamin, I chose that name because I was going for a very masculine name. And I wanted Abraham, hence the beard. I was going through an Old Testament period where I was reading all the Old Testament stuff. I wanted Benjamin or Benaniah. I wanted Abraham or Benaniah. And we kind of took Benjamin. Good name though, strong name. Yeah, possibly. I did suggest it once, but those guys were busy with a bunch of Hollywood stuff, so they didn't have time for me then. Training is masturbation. I'll tell you why. Build up a charge and explode! Well, I was never a bully. In fact, I used to beat up bullies. But I did aggressive and mean things. I feel because I had a lot of built up energy, aggressive energy, and I think a lot of boys do. And I didn't have an outlet for it. This was before I really got involved with football. Yes! All the more reason, or all the better of an excuse to shit yourself. You're focused. It might. I like watching the twins. I enjoy watching the twins. They crack me the fuck up. I used to actually like CT Fletcher, but the editing just got real weird all of a sudden. The last couple of videos, I don't know what's going on. My only fear is blindness. My only fear is that I'm doing or proceeding in a particular way that I cannot see objectively. Because awareness is transformative of itself. Awareness is wisdom. So I'm always afraid that I'm not seeing myself objectively enough in order to do something if I don't like what I'm getting. Heaviest deadlift, unofficial, was a little over 700 pounds. Actually, I was training a bunch of kids at my old gym, and in between training them, I just kept slapping on more plates, training the kids, boom, training the kids, more plates, boom. And I just built up to the point where it was like a crescendo and everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? And in a pair of jeans, mind you, I just yanked that bitch up. Well, was to build my business flat broke with mouths to feed and a mortgage to pay, having no money, no clients, and deeply in credit card debt. It was difficult, but I knew that it was a challenge I needed to build patience, persistence, courage, and everything that allows me to share what I share with people today. It was the greatest experience, but it was the toughest. I could call it a regret, but it was a learning lesson. I regret, but have learned from not pursuing my goal of becoming an NFL athlete as hard as I should have. I put in effort, but I know now, as an adult who has achieved his goals, that I could have done more back then when I was, 21 years old. I'm such a loving person that when I meet people, I really do want to embrace, but I've come to realize that that there's so much that so many people want that I feel like I could be drained if I'm not careful with how I approach questions and approach people when I meet them first. I still don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know, maybe it happened, but I don't know. I never did it.
It's like the new drug.
Huh?
It's like the new drug.
Molly's?
Yeah, it's like a portion of ecstasy or some shit, I don't know.
Nah, never did it. It'll be real awkward walking around the gym like this. So I guess you could do it, but make sure you bring the camera so you can put it on video, give us all a laugh. Maybe that shit'll go viral. Well, it's a template that you could really modify to do a lot of things. In fact, most of my strongman powerlifting routines are modified versions of what you would call West Side. And I like the switching out of different exercises per week, especially if you've got a really fast nervous system that responds quickly. You want to use multiple different types or variations of exercises. This moment in my fitness career was probably 3 months after I started working out, I looked in the mirror this way and saw stretch marks, and looked in the mirror behind me and saw mountains of muscle on my back. It was the greatest achievement that I ever felt through weight training. It's not a PR, it's that first time that I realized that I can do something, that I can set a goal and achieve it. Baseball cards? That's coming from my buddy David Chauvin, my oldest friend from nursery school. So we traded baseball cards when we were kids, and his dad knew a lot about baseball cards. He had an old set, like the 1920s or some shit with a Mickey Mantle. And I wanted it bad, so I offered my Yogi Berra for the Mickey Mantle. His dad never stopped joking about that. It's a good joke. Good stuff, Mr. Chauvin. Well played. Chicken and waffles with a beer. Well over 400, and someone reminded me recently that at one point I was doing 405 for sets of 5. 405 or 455?
55.
Or 55 sets of 5. Yeah, that was a different time and a different version of Elliott Hulse. So, but it happened. I can always say it happened. The most embarrassing moment was with the woman that I ended up marrying. It was the first time we made love. And man, I was quicker than a jackrabbit. I asked her what happened. I was like, what happened? What happened? That's what you get from being excited and ungrounded. And I was like 14 years old. Okay, no, I don't eat fast food. But we got a fast food trick in our city called Evo's, right? So apparently this is healthy fast food. And I tricked myself into believing that it's not fast food. Well, it's fucking fast food. They just don't fry the stuff. So like once a month I'll take my kids and we'll go and have air fries and grass-fed beef burgers at Evo's. But like I said, not home cooking. 16, I started lifting at 14. 16, I probably built up to about 200, actually about 200, 205. I never intended to. You know, I like bullshitting, right? And I like answering questions. So you get a guy who likes to talk and you ask him a bunch of questions, he'll be more than happy to answer those questions. And that's basically what I do. As far as being considered a life coach or a mentor or a role model, the role model is actually in the person that sees me as a role model. You made me a role model. I didn't make myself a role model. And it's not bad, it's not good or bad, it's just that I never constructed that character. I'm just doing what I'm doing. In the same way that like I've talked about how if a bird is singing from a tree, the bird is just singing a fucking song. You're the one that says, that's a beautiful song, and it's a wonderful bird. That's yours. Labeling the bird in the song, but really the bird is just doing what birds do. I am just doing what I do. To free myself from any psychological, physical, or erotic holding, I'm as tense as they come. Part of the reason why I'm so fascinated with breathing into your balls and teaching you how to soften your body so that you can enjoy life in its presence most joyfully is because I struggle with it. And I would like to rid myself of those demons. I'd like to release myself of all the neurosis. And in the process, I know that I'm helping other people by helping myself. I think the missing virtue, especially for men, young boys in our culture, is courage. We're never given an opportunity to express true courage. And that means taking risks. We live in such a risk assessment world, a world where we're constantly seeking out, and parents seek for their children, this figment of our imagination that we call safety and security. To be a man means to move out, to reach out, to proceed into the world. And there are no guarantees. There's no safety and security when moving out. So to be a man means to move forward courageously, especially into dark areas. And when I say dark areas, it's a metaphor for those things that we don't truly understand. But if you study and understand the difference between men and women, the sexes, females are of darker energy. They are inviting. We move into them. So if you build courage moving out to the world, you also build more masculinity because you build on the opposite end of the spectrum that builds contrast between men and women. Move into the world like you would like to move into a vagina, with courage and strength. Well, yeah, both of my parents are Cobra. My dad's psychologically a Cobra because he just sits and you think he's quiet. That nigga just snap and just bite your ass. He's fucking crazy. He'll just sit there and pretend like he's introvert and then just come up and snap you. So he's a crazy dude. My mom's physically a Cobra because that's where I get these traps from. I am lifted. That's my life. That's what I do. It's who I am. It's overcoming resistance.